Hey, this is Miko from ML Sound Lab, and this is the free ML Sound Lab plugin challenge. So, with the release of ML Drums, we now have ML Drums free. We also have Amped Roots 2.0, which comes with the free amp sim. The question is, how amazing can you sound by just using the free ML Sound Lab plugins? This is actually one of my personal goals, as I do remember myself being a kid and trying to get a professional sound, but really not having the budget for it. So what if you only have a guitar and you have an audio interface, you put your cable into that thing, you have some kind of a DAW, there are free ones out there nowadays. Can you get a professional sounding mix by using the ML Sound Lab free plugins and absolutely no post-processing? Let's have a listen. I mean, that is pretty impressive. And that is kind of how we've always designed our plugins to be. I'm using Amped Roots with the 5034 amp sim that is completely free. You can see the settings here. I'm using the noise gate just a little bit. You can see the settings here, and then this is the cabinet section using the Mega Oversize with the 57 and 421. Leaning more towards the Mega Oversize. So this is very simple, very simple for the guitar tone here. On the drum side, I'm using the default preset on ML Drums. And yes, I do have ML Drums Essentials unlocked, but I'm not using any of those drums. So all the drums that I was using there are included in the ML Drums free. So you have this kick, this snare, those toms, the hi-hat. You actually even have a ride that I don't think I used in the song, China, and a crash. So these are the sounds that you get. Let's dive into the mix and kind of show you what I did. So let's just pull up the mixer, because this will explain more than anything that I have going on here. For the guitars, I'm using Amped Roots on all the tracks. And I'll just quickly show you the guitar tracks that we have here so you have a better understanding of what's going on. So we have 5 tracks of guitars. We have our main rhythm doubled. So that's 2 times playing the same thing. Then we have our layer track, once again playing the same thing twice. And then we have this very sloppy solo section. So I'm doing a bunch of stuff with the DI, and you can go creative with what you can do, but let's just have a listen to what the guitars sound like. So that is essentially the main gist of it. Just to kind of separate what we have going on here, we have the main rhythms. And then we have the layer tracks that are playing something else. And when you play these two together, you have this. And then we have the solo. It's using actually the delay from Roots. So the same exact settings of Roots are on all the other tracks besides this one. We're not using the noise gates, we're using the delay for the solo here, and the settings may be slightly different, but the cabinet section is the same one. So Okay, one cool and lame thing that I want to show you here is what the guitar DIs actually sound like. Potentially this is not the fairest video to make when I'm using a PRS Custom 24 for making the guitars, but anyways, I think these guitars sound pretty cool when you're just listening to the DI, and I mean, this guitar is just out of this world. So this is just the DI guitars without amped roots on it. I mean, the point I wanted to make was that is what your DI guitar sounds like. That is the sound of your guitar that you care about that much. Maybe get a new set of pickups. But anyways, when you turn on amped roots, this is what it sounds like. And that is 100% free. So if you don't have it already, where have you been? Go get it right now. Like I showed you already with the drum section, we are using the default preset on ML drums and just the free drums. So I played around with the dynamics a little bit for this track. And this was actually supposed to be the original track for releasing this ML drums platform, but we decided to do something different with the song. But this is the same tempo and almost the same rhythm, so you can maybe see that you can do different things with the songs. But let's have a listen to what the drums are doing, and I'll kind of show you how much I'm playing around with the dynamics here. And so on. Really the point here that I wanted to show you is that you can get a lot of versatility out of the free drums that you get with ML drums. You can make a full song happen with it. Now, if you wanted to, if you get ML drums essentials, you get more tunings for the snare. So for example, if you felt like you wanted to have a lower snare, you could change the sound like this. Or a higher one. And then obviously we're just using the two toms here. You're missing these two and then all the effect symbols. Two more crashes, China, and different kick mics. So yes, you get a lot more versatility out of ML drums if you get some of the expansion packs for it. We only have essentials out right now, but that was not the challenge here. We're trying to get away with just using free stuff. So let's check what we're doing with the bass, because that is where things get a little bit, it's not cheating, but I had to do something because we don't have a free plugin for bass. So we are using amped roots for bass. But let's have a listen to what I'm actually doing here. So I actually have two tracks for the bass, and the main track is actually just the DI. So that is my Fender Precision bass. And I'm using the stock compressor of Cubase. Nothing special, nothing that I would kind of gravitate towards using as my favorite compressor. This should be very easy for you to recreate. So I'm just using these to kind of even out the bass notes. It's not doing a lot, but in the mix context, having even bass, especially with the kick and those two playing together, is very crucial. Now the dirty bass, I'm using Amped Roots with the gain essentially as low as it will go, and I'm using the stock EQ plugin to get the bass out from this distorted bass sound. That is just to do with the phase stuff when using bass. So when you have 2 tracks of bass, you many times run into some phase problems. For that reason, I'm cutting out the lows from this distorted sound, so together they actually sound much better. So let's have a listen to what they sound like together. So yes, still using free plugins, that is it. And on top of everything, I only have a limiter here. That is just making everything a little bit louder. So that is also the stock default limiter that comes with Cubase. As you can see, it's not really doing much. So a little bit over 1 dB of gain reduction. So it's just making everything louder, not doing anything to it. Now, I think this goes to show that the ML SoundLab plugins are pretty damn good straight out of the box. You don't have to do any tweaking or any post-processing to get them working in the context of a mix. Sure, you can go in and tweak stuff and make things better, but I think this sounds pretty good straight out of the box, and we're mainly just using presets here. Let's have another listen to the song, and I'll mute out parts so you can actually hear some cool stuff happening and how I actually balance guitar tones, because ultimately balancing the guitars and bass and drums together, and even the different drum cymbals and kick and snare together, that is the main mix. It's not EQ, it's not compression, it's getting the volumes balanced where they sound really good together. So let's have a listen to how I balance this mix. Only the bass. So, as you can hear there, if I mute the guitars, the snare is super loud in the mix. And that is because those are the two things that are competing with each other. So whenever I'm leveling the snare, it needs to kind of compete with the guitars. And many times if you just listen to the drums, you feel like the snare is super loud and the kick is super loud, and that is because those are the most important things. So remember that most of mixing is about balancing everything correctly. And the next time you hear a song on TikTok or Spotify or whatever you kids are using these days, turn down the volume and have a really good listen to what is the loudest in the mix. And I guarantee you it's kick, snare, and vocals. And everything else is sort of very quiet in comparison. So concentrate on getting those three elements, kick, snare, vocals, as loud as possible, but equally loud with each other, and everything else kind of fits around that. So that is how I recommend you do it. Get ML Drums free, get Amped Roots free, and I mean, you're good to go. No need to spend any money if you don't have to. Thank you so much for watching the video. I've been Mikko from ML SoundLab, and we intend to do a lot more content just like this, so please subscribe so you never miss out on some of these cool videos. See you on the next one, and bye.